Today, we're going to talk about something that touches the hearts of many of you: loneliness. Why is it that so many of us who feel we have a special mission often find ourselves alone in so many moments of life? It almost feels like a contradiction, doesn't it? Having such a grand purpose, yet feeling unsupported, misunderstood, or even pushed away by others. But what if I told you that this isn't a mistake or a flaw, but actually an essential part of your journey as a chosen one? That's what we're going to explore today. We're going to understand how loneliness is deeply connected to your energy, your mission, and your spiritual growth. Have you ever noticed how your presence sometimes makes others uncomfortable? Or how you always seem to walk a different path, even distant from what most people follow? That feeling isn't random. There's a higher reason behind it. And once you understand it, you'll realize you're not truly alone. You're in a moment of transformation. I want to invite you to reflect on this with me. Tell me, how have you been dealing with these periods of solitude? Share your experiences in the comments, because I believe that by telling our stories, we strengthen ourselves as a community. There's one important thing you need to understand. Your light is not ordinary. It's different, it's intense, and that alone impacts the environment and the people around you. Imagine a dark room suddenly being lit by a powerful light. Some people will feel relieved to finally see clearly, but others, they might feel uncomfortable because the light reveals what they weren't ready to see. That's exactly what happens with your energy. When you walk into a space or share energy with someone, your vibration doesn't just exist, it transforms. Your presence silently invites others to look inward, to see things they may be hiding from or avoiding. For some, that's liberating. But for others, it can be terrifying. Have you ever had someone suddenly distance themselves from you for no clear reason? Or noticed how certain conversations always seem tense, even though you didn't say anything wrong? There's nothing wrong with you. Your energy is simply working as it should. But not everyone is ready to face what your light reveals. When people distance themselves, it's often not about you, but about their own discomfort. Your presence acts like a mirror, reflecting hidden fears, wounds, and unresolved emotions. This light doesn't judge, but it makes it harder for others to keep their shadows hidden. Some find this healing, others find it overwhelming. That's why some people pull away, not because they don't care, but because they're not ready. Still, your light is not a burden, it's a gift. And in time, those who are truly meant to walk with you will come closer when they're ready to grow. Loneliness on the spiritual path isn't a punishment, it's preparation. When people distance themselves, or when you feel out of place, it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because your energy invites deep reflection, and not everyone is ready for that. Solitude becomes a sacred space where you face your shadows, heal old wounds, and reconnect with your true essence. Though painful at times, it helps you discover inner strength, clarity, and self-worth that don't rely on outside validation. In silence, you hear your own voice. In solitude, you become who you were meant to be. Perguntar ao ChatGPT. Depending less on the external world opens the door to something sacred. Solitude creates space for reconnection with the divine. When we are alone, we can perceive signs, feel the universe surrounding us, and strengthen our faith. It's as if every moment of introspection reminds you that even when it feels like no one is around, you are never truly alone. If there's one gift solitude brings, it's the unveiling of hidden wounds that can feel painful at first, but the pain is a call to healing. And when you choose to face those wounds, something powerful happens. They stop being burdens and become wisdom, strength, and growth. Every heartbreak, every rejection, and every moment of being misunderstood holds a valuable lesson. Often, those experiences were necessary to teach you how to rise, how to know yourself more deeply, and how to recognize your true worth. In that process, you realize your strength doesn't come from the absence of challenges, but from your ability to overcome and learn from them. Imagine your life as a journey where each obstacle is a piece of a greater puzzle. Every pain you transform into wisdom adds clarity to the picture you are building of yourself. And that picture, in the end, is the representation of your true essence. Someone who didn't just survive, but flourished. Transforming wounds into strength also means looking at your traumas and understanding that they do not define who you are. They are part of your story, but they are not your destiny. When you allow yourself to heal, you stop carrying those weights as burdens and begin to use them as tools. The rejection you faced can teach you how to value yourself more. The isolation you went through can show you how to find strength in your own company, and something magical happens when you start carrying that strength within you. You become a living example of resilience. People who once didn't understand you begin to notice the change. Those who walked away might even feel inspired by who you've become. And most importantly, you begin to attract relationships and connections that are truly aligned with your energy. This process doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. Every step you take toward healing and self-knowledge is sacred. You are taking a step toward a state of balance and wholeness. This preparation, no matter how lonely it may feel right now, is guiding you towards something greater. Now that you've begun transforming your wounds into strength and wisdom, something beautiful starts to unfold. The isolation that once felt like punishment now reveals itself as preparation. It's as if the universe is clearing space for new, healthier connections, ones that are aligned with your energy, to enter your life. As you move through this period of solitude, you learn to create clearer, healthier boundaries. You begin to understand what you truly want in relationships, whether in friendship, love, or even within your family. And most importantly, you realize that you no longer have to settle for less than you deserve. Think about it. How could you build something authentic and meaningful with someone else if you're not at peace with yourself first? Solitude gives you the chance to know yourself more deeply, to understand your values and needs. And when that happens, you naturally begin to attract people who resonate with your vibration. These new connections arrive effortlessly because they are aligned with your essence. They are people who aren't afraid of your light, who don't feel intimidated by your energy. On the contrary, they see it as inspiration, as a gift. They too are walking their own paths of healing and self-discovery, and they recognize a kindred spirit in you, someone they can walk beside with truth, peace, and authenticity. In addition, isolation teaches you to value the quality of your relationships over the quantity. It's not about having dozens of friends or being surrounded by people all the time. It's about building meaningful bonds, connections that nourish you, support your growth, and reflect mutual respect and reciprocity. But it's important to remember, this transition takes time. These connections don't always appear instantly, and that's okay. The universe has its own rhythm. Part of the lesson is learning to trust that flow, knowing that while you do the inner work, what is meant for you is being prepared. And when those relationships finally arrive, you realize how worth it the solitude truly was, because suddenly you are surrounded by people who genuinely understand you. It's also a process that helps you expand your light even more. Throughout this journey of isolation and self-discovery, something powerful begins to manifest, a deeper connection with the divine. It's as if, by clearing away external distractions and internal wounds, you create space to feel the presence of something greater, a force that guides you, sustains you, and reminds you that you were never truly alone. This connection with the divine is not just a comfort, but a transformative power. It makes you realize that all difficulties, all moments of solitude, and all lessons learned have a purpose. Nothing happens by chance. Every step you have taken, even the most painful ones, has brought you to this point, where you can feel that you are exactly where you're meant to be. During this process, you may begin to notice signs around you, perhaps through dreams, intuitions, or even synchronicities that seem to answer your questions. These signs act as reminders that you are on the right path, that the universe is working in your favor, even when you can't see the full picture. Moreover, this connection with the divine strengthens your faith, not necessarily in a religious sense, but as an unshakable trust in life and the natural flow of things. You begin to trust yourself more, your choices, and the fact that what's coming will be exactly what you need. And with that faith comes a clearer understanding of your greater purpose. Perhaps you have already felt that you are here for something beyond the ordinary, to uniquely impact those around you. This certainty grows stronger as you connect more deeply with your essence and the divine. This purpose can manifest in many ways. Maybe it's helping others find their own light. Maybe it's bringing healing and inspiration, or simply being a living example of resilience and authenticity. Regardless of its form, what matters is that you become a living expression of something greater, showing those around you that despite challenges, it is possible to live a life aligned and full of meaning. And at this point, the solitude that once felt like a burden transforms into a gift. It is what allowed you to get to where you are today. It has prepared you for this level of connection and clarity. With this renewed connection to the divine and the purpose guiding your existence, something incredible begins to happen. Your energy shifts. It's as if an inner light starts to expand, illuminating not only your own journey, but also those fortunate enough to cross your path. You realize that by transforming your pain into wisdom and your solitude into strength, you become a catalyst for change. Your presence is no longer just something that intimidates or challenges others. It also inspires. Your light begins to attract those who are ready to awaken, to look within themselves, and to start their own journeys of healing and self-discovery. And don't think this happens because you're trying to convince or teach anyone. Rather, it's your authenticity that does the work. You are a living example that it is possible to weather life's storms and emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected on the other side. This transformed energy manifests in subtle but powerful ways. People may feel drawn to your presence without even understanding why. Perhaps it's the serenity in your gaze, the firmness in your words, or the peace you exude. And often, you will be able to touch lives just by being yourself, without needing to make great efforts. Moreover, this transformation isn't limited to the impact you have on those close to you. It extends to the world around you. Your choices, your actions, and even your way of thinking begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, creating ripples that affect everything within your reach. Think of it as a domino effect. Every time you choose to act from love, compassion, and the wisdom you've gained, you plant seeds of change. These seeds can sprout in ways you can't even imagine, touching lives you may never directly know. And there's something even more beautiful about this process. By impacting the world around you, you continue to grow. Every exchange, every connection, and every act of kindness strengthens the cycle of learning and evolution. It's as if the universe is showing you that by giving your best, you receive even more in return, whether in gratitude, new opportunities, or simply a sense of fulfillment that cannot be put into words. However, it is important to remember that this journey is not about perfection. There will still be difficult days, moments when you question everything again. But now, you will be certain that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and that your energy, so unique and powerful, is a transformative force for good. We have reached a crucial point in your journey where you begin to realize that the solitude and challenges you have faced so far were not merely tests of endurance, but true preparations for all that is to come. With each step, you have been strengthened, refined, and elevated. And now, with renewed wisdom and confidence, you are ready to face any adversity that may arise. The beauty of this transformation is that along the way, you have learned to view challenges in a new light. The fear and insecurity that once could paralyze you are now seen as opportunities for growth. You know that when facing something difficult, there is a lesson hidden in every experience, and this gives you unwavering confidence because you know that no matter what happens, you have the inner tools necessary to overcome.